Hello and welcome back to Accountex 2024, and we're here for Ask the Accountants podcast Pitstop, and we've got a bit of a crossover. So please, I'm going to let yourself introduce yourselves, but also when you have introduced yourself, explain to everyone about your podcast pedigree background. Go for it.
I'm Amy Hancock. I'm of Hancock and Hastings Accountants, and I started my practice a year ago. So myself and James, who will introduce himself, do a podcast with the ACCA, Being Counted to Boss, to talk about how we started our practice, what we did right, what we did wrong, what we've learned from it to help other accountants starting out, basically.
Yeah, I'm James Goulsbra. My practice is down south. Been going full-time in it since 2022. And yeah, as Amy said, our podcast is just bearing all. So being transparent to help people go on their way.
I love it. What came to the inspiration of a podcast then? What brought you down that route? Tell me the story about it.
We were asked by the ACCA, both of us independently, to go on their roadshows and talk about starting our practice. And then I did a webinar with the ACCA about the same topic. And there weren't a lot of take-up with it. I think there was about 10 people on it. And so we got into chats with the ACCA of what can we do to reach people that have just qualified or members that are working in practice, thinking about starting out. What can we do? And I said, let's do a podcast, Being Counted to Boss.
It took a while to get to that title, didn't it? But yeah, the ACCA were Pat Delbridge, who's sits behind the scenes and does it all. She's been pushing it to try and basically they're going for more insights to help start a practice. And the podcast was just something they thought they'd give it a go at.
Awesome. And would you recommend it to people? Do you think it's a...
I love doing a podcast. I never thought I would want to talk to it as much as I do. I'm quite happy being on stage. I was on stage the first time yesterday here at Accountex, and yeah, it was good. And it was good to get feedback and get questions and really know that you're helping people on their journey to starting a practice, basically.
Amazing. Okay, so this is Accountex 2024. What has been your first impressions? I know kind of acclimatized to it now, right? We're at day 2. But when you first walked in, after you got over the initial mentalness of it, what's your key takeaway you're going to have for that first impression of it?
There's a lot of changes in the big providers. We've been over to Apron, haven't we?
The Apron, and then you got Expert coming in, and AI is going to play a massive part this year in our profession.
Yeah,
and it's going to be how you can utilize it.
Yeah, for your practice.
So yeah, utilize it the best you can.
Love it.
I think there's so much going to be changing that people are going to be lured into having it all. So the danger is probably what's going to work for you.
There's a lot of vendors here. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, 300 plus.
Jeez, I haven't managed to get around them all. Trying to pick the right one for you is it's gonna be tough. You need to get an understanding of quite a few.
Apron's going to be massive this year. What they're going to do is going to be completely change the game.
Oh, I'm already starting the ball rolling.
Sorry, we love Apron. Make sure you get yourself a gold top trump card. What was your most looking forward to bit about this year's Accountex? What was there a speaker? Was there a venue you wanted to see, or was it just being here and experiencing? When you first thought to yourself, I was going to Accountex, what are you looking forward to the most?
For me, I was just going to come to my own and just explore how AI was going to be used. And so that's for me. But then also they asked me to talk.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's another added agenda to this. So it's been quite an experience from that point of view. But for me, it's just to see how go out and see certain particular software.
This year for me was more about the networking. When I came last year, it was the first month of me being solely full-time on my own.
Yeah.
What do I get? What do I need?
Yeah.
Absorbing everything, going to talks and seeing what everyone's doing. Now it's the networking, the collaboration. There's so many other accountants that are willing to share their journey. So going to see other accountants on stage, hearing what they're doing, how they're changing.
It's like yourself and Johann, you're just so transparent in what you do and how you help people.
Yeah.
And I think you've started a trend and others are now hitting on that as well. And it's, there's more of a support network than it was ever before. And I can only just see it growing.
Yeah, and I think if we're not transparent with one another, we can't fix the problems. There's so many pain points in our industry, right?
Yeah.
So many things holding us back doing what we love, which is helping clients. If we don't share with one another what problems we have, teach each other to maybe do this or try this to make this better, then we're always just going to be stuck in that same old hamster wheel, just going again, and we're not going to be able to do what we love to do, which is to help clients, right?
Yes, totally agree.
Absolutely agree. So right up until I left employment, I didn't know that you would talk to other accountants, talk about your pricing. Why would you share that?
Yeah.
Whereas we've just been doing an exercise in a networking group, and we've come up with a scenario and shared exactly line by line our pricing. That doesn't mean we're going to go and jump after your clients. There's plenty of clients out there. So it's been a real eye-opener how much people are willing to share. And I don't feel threatened by them.
No, they're not your competitors, are they?
No.
It's interesting to see how others are using the softwares in their practices and saying, and being honest about what works and what doesn't. That's becoming more and more evident in this year as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So you made a really good point there about one of your highlights was like listening to people and taking them in. And I think an event like this, we become sponges, right? Like we're just throwing information, this technology or this tech stack, or you go and listen to one of the amazing speakers and you're giving this bit of inspiration that you want to take away with you. Or like you've just said, you're networking one another and they'll mention this or they'll talk about that. What's your pro tips? Because a lot of people who are listening to things like this, they've never been to a conference before. They're probably intimidated or they don't know how to make the most out of it. How do you guys walk away from an event like this going, here's my action points and this is what I want to do to do them? Is there any tips you can give anyone about making the most of it?
For me, what I did was obviously being here 2 days, is I knew the kind of the software I wanted to use. I've done some background research on them, and I wanted then I've gone to those stands to sort of get a better idea, gauge on what they're doing, how they're going to try and help me. Seen some demos. Couple I've signed up to trials to see how they can implement it back into practice. You can get lured in and try, and just it gets overwhelming with everyone wanting to talk to you. So research is key.
Planning. I had an old colleague of mine, and she's come today and yesterday, and she came in with a highlighter pen and the map, and she knew exactly where she was going to go. She's starting a practice from scratch. So planning before you come, because it is so big and it is overwhelming. Plan, what do I want to take away from this? You get the map, you look where you're going to go. There's no harm in stopping, but if you stopped and spoke to everyone, it would be days, it would be hours. So having a plan is key of where you want to go.
As Amy was laughing at me earlier, because two of my team are here today. So I've just literally told them where they're going. You need to go there. You need to look at these stands because I want you guys to use this software. Will you get on with it? So it's all well me saying we're going to use it. It has to work in our practice.
You said the buy-in, right?
So they're going to go off. They're going to give me feedback. And we're going to make a joint decision.
And they'll also now have a contact that if anything does go wrong, they go back to that person and say, you mentioned it was to do so and so and so and so, but I can't make it to do that. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Doesn't have to go through me.
Okay, so you're both clearly passionate about this industry. We can both tell that. And you've created a podcast, you've got that social presence. So what is it from both of you that you love about this industry more than anything else? What's that fire in the belly? What makes you wake up every day and happy to be an accountant or bookkeeper?
Shall I start talking about audit? Is this the time? I know, and most people do that.
Go for it.
I love doing audit. I love going in. I love meeting lots of clients. And I love interrogating. That doesn't mean I want to find something. I'm not HMRC. I'm not I don't definitely want to find fraud or anything like that. But I do like getting to know the business inside and out, learning about them, and actually the systems, suggestions, and recommendations is what I like doing, rather than finding fraud and finding faults. I've got a kind of personal mission that I want to show the value of audit.
I love that. Yeah.
And that it doesn't have to be the absolute big accountancy and audit practices that have to do it. You can get sole practitioners, smaller practitioners that can give you a good audit, good value for money. So I've kind of made it my own personal mission. So I get up. You'll see me on LinkedIn. I post about audit. Probably
got to do it.
So someone's got to do it. It's not going to be me. For me, it's where being on that journey with the client and where do they want to get to, and how can I help them? That's what gets me going. Do they want a business that's going to provide for a certain lifestyle, 3 or 4 holidays a year, or is it they're growing to sell, exit, retire early? So for me, it's understanding what they want to do, and how can I go along that journey with them.
Yeah, exactly. None of us are sat here going, we love just doing VAT returns, right? It's about actually helping clients. It's the important bit. So that's what you love about the industry, and that's what gives you the fire in the belly. But what would you change about the industry?
HMRC.
Compliance and
Just HMRC in general. The whole thing. Yeah. I think you can't beat that, can you, really? So now I'm seeing so many positives at the moment in the way things are changing, the way people are collaborating and networking.
It is more HMRC for me.
Yeah,
I think they are really grinding us down. If they can listen to us more, is there something that we can do collaboratively as accountants to help them get better? Is that something we need to explore? But I don't think they will listen.
I mean, most of their problems they have at the moment is self-created, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a lot of their problems they have with being able to keep on top of telephone calls and everything else is because they don't give us the tools to help clients. So if we had a self-service portal,
We wouldn't get on the phone, would we? We don't want to be sitting there for hours with the same hold music. It's painful.
Yeah, it's not fair on the client because then we have to charge them. It's not fair on anyone.
Yeah, and that leads in, like you say, the compliance. It eats into then we're getting nearer to those external deadlines that we're trying to beat or do the jobs quite early. Because obviously we're stuck doing that thing, that it's affecting the compliance side.
Yeah, 100%. So how would you describe your ideal client? If you were to paint a picture of that perfect client, how would it look?
I don't tend to niche into an industry. I would like to get people on the cloud. I still have receipts put through the door. I'm working on them. I work a lot with the construction industry, and I'm finding that that's probably where I struggle with the most. So a client that's willing to embrace technology and work with me and communicate with me, I've made myself available more or less 24/7. Much for sins. I do actually like that. I do like that people will WhatsApp me and they're quite happy to ask me questions. So, clients that want to collaborate with me, that trust me, that will share their information, even if they think they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to. So, getting onto the cloud and trusted.
The ideal client be ones that allow us to help them, listen to us as advisors.
Yeah.
Take it on board. And effectively, allow them to grow them rather than us constantly fighting them to, do the receipts, reconcile, silly little things like that they want to keep in house. It's like, no, we can do that. Let us do that. Yeah. At least them to go and improve their business.
Exactly. Yeah. It's difficult though, isn't it? It's finding those right clients who want to help and just, that's where it's forward. Okay, so if we look back 12 months ago, Countex 2023, we're on Countex 2024 now. So what piece of technology, app, gadget, anything that you can think back to in the last 12 months you've gone, if it wasn't for that piece of technology, it's been an absolute game changer. It's something that's changed the way that you do work or create work-life balance, whatever it needs to be. Is there one thing you can think of that if you'd have known 12 months ago, you'd have just jumped straight onto it and gone from there and you wish you'd always had? What game changer tech stack can you recommend to anyone out there?
Practice management.
Practice management, excellent.
The business 12 months ago, I went full time with it. Before that, it was a side hustle. So everything was on Excel.
Yep.
I've been through 4 practice management softwares in the last 12 months.
Wow.
I settled with Client Engager, but I have been through them and I kind of got sucked in with a few of them.
Yeah.
But that, it just takes the constant having to email yourself to remind yourself of things. I don't need to do that anymore. Text yourself, notes on your iPhone. There was a lot of that, and particularly things like confirmation statements.
Yeah.
Right up until the deadline. So having a piece of kit that can help organize your life, put everything into your whole database, your whole workflows, everything. That I wish I'd started with that rather than delving into the accounts production, operation tax production. I think I needed to start with practice management. I'm finally there. It's been a year and I'm there.
Practice management's key. And I fear that we maybe chose the wrong one 18 months ago. We've now dropped that and we're now on Client Engager. And, that has been it's a game changer. And for us, it's enabled us to grow even more. So we went through a period of, I think 8 months ago, took another practice. And then we realised the practice management software we had at the time just wasn't capable of coding.
Right. Yeah.
So it's quickly I should have done my homework a bit better to get something that allows me to grow. Otherwise, I'm failing my clients.
Yeah. It's always difficult, isn't it? Like the one question you'll always get asked is, well, I'm on Excel, when do I move over? Or spreadsheets, then when I move over? Or in your case, like, you don't know what you don't know, do you? Until you go through the experience of it's just failing. And sometimes that's the hardest thing, isn't it? Is to know when to move and when to make the change.
And this is where talking with other accountants and seeing what they're doing and seeing how that's helping their business, I find that very important, finding out what their tech stack is.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. Okay, so that was looking back 12 months ago. So 12 months ago, you've both said about practice management, game changer for you. We look forward 12 months now and we go forward. AI is definitely something that has been prevalent in this conference. We've got Copilot from Sage. You can't blink without seeing it, right? Like they've done really well on talking about it and pushing that through. How do you feel like AI is going to affect you in 12 months' time? Do you think that in 12 months' time it's going to be there and it's going to completely be a game changer and we're going to be completely different, just sat on a beach and everything's done for us? Or do you think, it's going to take time? Or even do you think it's a flash in the pan and we should just forget about it? What's your thoughts about AI? Go for it.
Definitely not forget about it. I'm already using it. I got Fireflies last week to record my meetings, and it's been around for ages, and I haven't touched it, and I've got it, and this is such a game changer. It saved me so much time, and it pulls out the action points, and it's done.
And you wow your clients with that, don't you? Because you actually complete those action points.
It produces the report. It's gone. They know what was said. We know what was said. We know what to do. ChatGPT. I've been using that for a few months now. That's helped with content creation.
Yeah.
But also emails, helping with emails. But I think in 12 months' time, I'd love to get to a point where my mailbox is suggesting the replies.
Yeah.
And I know that's been spoken about for a while. I can feel that's coming. Hopefully free, probably not. Not necessarily send. This is the suggestions.
Exactly.
Just too much admin time.
Yeah.
And I'd love a world that it would pull the information for you.
Yeah.
This is your next tax bill. This is your.
This is when your accounts are due.
Yeah.
It's AI. I think for us, it's going to be we're definitely going to be improving processes, allowing us to be more efficient. So looking at the AI note taking, reviewing it, how we're going to implement it better. It's also looking at some AI in checking so clients do their own stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing a VAT review, things like little tasks like that. How can we quicken the process up of just checking the control accounts? This software will allow us to do it.
Oh God, in my audit world.
That'd be
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Your sampling will just go through the
Yeah. 100%.
Exactly.
Test 100%. Done. Press a button. I'll buy that right now.
I mean, I was using Microsoft Copilot, which is their ChatGPT plugin, and they've got finance for Copilot, and it's already able to do reconciliation. Yes, there's workarounds. Yes, it's a bit junky for now, but if Excel can do it, then what's the software?
Yeah, I was asking the question. What would you then? How do you feel AI, and how would you use it next year? What would you do?
So for me, it's already absolutely integral to everything we do. Literally every workflow we've got has had AI included at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think for me, the biggest change that I've had is in terms of communication, and Grammarly has been huge for me.
Yeah.
Like that idea that I could write an email out, put it through Grammarly, and then go, oh, just change the tone on this one. And it never in my wildest dreams would I have even thought about putting it in the way that they've put it. So it's exactly the same context, but in a different tone. And sending that, you got more confidence. Your client's going to react in a better way to it, and they're going to be, you don't want to be stern, or sometimes you have to be stern, or whatever that tone's going to be. That's why I find it an absolute game changer.
So many people are still scared of it. Still scared that it's going to take their.
They're scared because they feel it's going to replace them.
Yeah, completely.
I think you need to change that mindset and say, actually, it's going to improve you.
Yeah.
You need to actually take a look at all these things. So you don't know that you're scared the most, aren't you?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you guys brought it up quite a lot about, helping clients, and that's what you love to do. So for me, AI is there to empower us to do that, right? It's to give us that time that we can actually invest in being more reactive to clients, helping them when they need to. And that's what it's all about. So wonderful. Well, you guys have been amazing. Unfortunately, this is a Pitstop podcast, so we're supposed to be short and snappy, but we need to have you on again. We need to have cool friends. We need to go through this properly and listen to your stories, go through exactly how you got to where you have today. It's been absolutely amazing. So you got this one, and my recommendation is probably this one here. Plug away, talk about your podcast, talk about where people can find you, talk about why they would want to find you.
So thanks for listening. I've been Amy Hancock, and with James Goulsbra, we are with the ACCA Being Counter to Boss podcast, where we share everything about how we started our practice, what we did right, what we did wrong, warts and all.
And we can find our podcast on iTunes and Spotify.
Well, that's been it. Accountex 2024. We've still got loads of content coming your way. So make sure that you like, subscribe and everything. And make sure you definitely get yourself subscribed over to this podcast and your socials, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it's going to be. Thank you. Thank you to you two for being absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very professional as expected.
Behave.
And we will see you all in the next bit of content. Bye for now.